everyone, welcome to Tableside Talk. My name is Cam Kelly and I'm a commercial real estate broker with the Langert Commercial Group.
And I'm Evan Langert. I'm the principal and founder of the Langert Commercial Group. We are a full-service commercial real estate brokerage here in Maryland. We serve all of Maryland, but we also actively serve DC and Northern Virginia. And perhaps more importantly, in certain contexts, prior to being in brokerage for the last 15 years, I was the head transactional attorney for the eastern half of the U.S. for a publicly traded REIT for almost 10 years. I also was an attorney for other large publicly traded or other well-heeled commercial real estate companies. So I've got 3.5 decades of experience and knowledge, and we're doing these tableside talks so that we can, get some of my experience over to you, some of the knowledge that I have, some of the situations that I've seen. So it may help you in your situation to know what to look out for, to know certain things about certain aspects of commercial real estate. And with that being said, what are we talking about today, Cam?
So today, Evan, pretty straightforward. What is the difference between gross leasable area and net rentable area?
Sure, that's a pretty easy topic, but a pretty important one. It comes up most often in office situations, office space situations. So let's just say you want office space and you walk into an office building that's 10 stories, it's 100,000 square feet, and you look around and it's got a nice big lobby, perhaps a desk with a concierge where you check in, elevator bank over here, elevator bank over there, common area bathrooms, stairwells, maybe certain other areas, and depending on the building, an atrium. So, the building's 100,000 square feet, including all that stuff. That is your gross leasable area. That's the entirety of the building. So why does that matter, and why isn't that rentable compared with it? Well, landlords have gotten the better of the situation in this type of arena to where they get paid on every square foot in the building. So if you go and you lease a certain amount of space, let's just say 3,000 square feet of space, but 20% of the building is the lobby and the elevators and all the things that we talked about, then when you lease 3,000 square feet, 20% of that 3,000 square feet, in this case 600 if my math is right, 600 square feet that you're paying rent on is not space that you occupy. So I have an interesting story about that. I leased a large space when I was in California to a national company. One of the execs in that company was, you don't see many of these, but he was an architect as a hobby. He was a hobbyist architect, if there's such a phrase. So I went to see him, and they had been working alone without a broker. And he had this beautiful CAD drawing. He had a CAD machine, had everything all laid out, had every chair, every desk, everything in it. And he said, "I've already done a lot of your work for you. Fit everything in here, and we need 12,500 square feet on the nose." So I said, wow. I was admittedly impressed with what he had done, but I said, so are you telling me that you need 12,500 square feet of space that you're actually in, or gross? And he said, well, what's that? He didn't know the concept. So I told him that. It turned out that they needed 12,500 square feet of space to occupy. So had I not come along and had they done a deal on their own, they would have leased 12,500 square feet of space, and then all their stuff would have been delivered from the building they moved from, and they would have found out too late that they couldn't fit in the space. So what they actually needed was, I'm trying to remember because it was some years ago, but they needed over 15,000 square feet of space. So that's important to know. You do need to know, if you go into a big building with a grand atrium and a grand lobby, and it's really impressive, but you do need to know that, if you have 10% of the building, you're paying 10% of what the landlord would get if those were office spaces and they were leased out. A lot of people are okay with that. Obviously, those buildings have a lot of tenants, but you need to know that, and you also need to know that in these situations, when you lease whatever it is, 3,000, 10,000, 1,500 square feet of space, that is not the amount of space that you occupy. And that's the difference between gross leasable area and net rentable. We're happy to have a broader, longer, deeper conversation with you about this or about anything else. As I always say, we don't charge for initial consultations. We like to give specific advice to people, potential clients especially. So, don't just take our tableside talks and run with them. Just give us a call. Every situation is a little different than the next, and we make ourselves easy to get a hold of. With that, we'll just say goodbye, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Bye.